Greetings and salutations. My name is Tish and welcome to the Artist Haven. In this video, I'm going to go over how I make my flip pockets using both scrapbook paper and digitals from your favorite creator. So let me go over real quick what these do. So you have a page in your journal, say this is your journal, and you want to put a little pocket doohickey on there. Yes, that's the technical term, doohickey. You can put, so you have a pocket here, and you flip it open, and there's a pocket here, and there's actually another pocket here. So then, so this is a pocket too, or maybe, there we go. Okay, and then you flip it over to this page, and this can be a pocket too. Okay, so that's what you can do with a scrapbook paper. And with a digital, which is, depending on where you're at, 8.5 by 11 for US and 8.25 by 11.5 for you that use A4. 11, I think it's 11 3/4. Anyway, it's bigger than 11. So here is one that I designed using those ones. It doesn't have the pocket on the back side, but you can build it out to have a pocket if you wish to do so. But it adheres here. You open it up, and this one isn't finished, but I didn't put a little notch in it, so it's just kind of guessing where the pocket's at there. But you have this nice big pocket to put things in, and then you can have a pocket in here. You can have a pocket on this side. You can leave it journaling space. You can do whatever you wish with it. So I'm going to show you real quick how to make these real quick, and we'll decorate one of each kind as well, so you can see how quickly they can go together if you have just a stash of the bases. That's what my mess makes usually are, is just bases. So I can have something to start with. I can grab it, and as I'm decorating the other stuff for my journal, I can decorate that too. So let's clear this section off and get started. First things first, you need to pick out what paper you want to use. I'm going to be using some ivory cardstock and my favorite craft paper cardstock. So I've got 3 pages of each of these, and we'll go over sizes, how I cut these and everything. And then I've got 3 pages of digitals. These are from Robin McClendon, and they're blank on the other side. So these I've had for years. I love how splattery they are, and they're versatile to just about any journal that you want to use. Now, if you have double-sided pages, that will work too. This is one of my digitals that I'm working on. But you want to have it printed off on cardstock. 100-pound cover, I think it's 200 GSM. Give or take. This is 34-pound paper. You could use this, but if you're going to have things coming in and out of your pocket, you want it a little bit more durable than just this flippy floppy paper. So let's get started with the cutting, because we want to do all the cuts at one time. And let me put these aside and get my cutter. We got our cutter. Let's start cutting. Now, I am going to cut these all 3 at one time, because I can do that on this cutter. We're going to cut the white edge off of here. And then we're going to cut this at 4 inches, which is about 10 centimeters. And we're going to use these ones as well. So you can either cut them all off. Well, I didn't do a very good job of cutting the white off of there. Let's try that again. I want to illustrate that you can mass make these in any size you want, but I'm going to start with 4-inch ones. Nope, that shifted. There we go. So these ones are ready. We'll put these aside to finish later. So we've got those 4, and then we're going to take our 12 by 12 sheets, and these ends I want to cut by 2 at a time. I'm going to cut these at 4. We've got the scoreboard. So here are your areas that you want to score at. Let's move this out of the shadow. The sun keeps going behind a cloud. The dimensions that we are going to be scoring at are 2.5, 7 1/4, and 11 3/4. And then we're going to turn this and score at 3 3/4. So we're giving ourselves a 1/4 inch there. And that's for the 12 by 12 paper. Again, now if you have a textured paper, this one's textured. I didn't pay attention to this one, but it doesn't matter. We'll do some textured signs, some not. So again, the measurements are 2.5, 7 1/4, and 11 3/4. Turn it and go 1/4 inch from the edge all the way down, so 3 3/4. And we're just going to do that to all of these. Okay, now that we have those done, we're going to take our printouts and we're going to put the white on the very end, and we're going to put the white at the bottom. Okay, so in this one, we're going to score at 3/4 inch. And 5 3/4, so there's 5 1/2 3/4. And then we're going to come in 1/4 inch. So right there. You know what? We're going to come in a little bit further. Like so. And again, we're going to come down 1/4 inch. Okay. So 3/4 inch, 5 3/4, and then wherever your white line is. Because we'll use that 1/4 inch of white. As our base for the gusset. So 3/4, 5 3/4, and then I just kind of shifted this so that blue line is where I'll score. Because you can always cover it with ink too. If you have a little bit of white, that's okay. Okay, so these are all our 4-inch ones. All right, our next step is kind of going to be a long one. Now, if you have a mat where you can cut with a knife, cool beans. I do not have one handy at the moment, so I'm going to be using scissors. And just so you guys can see what I'm cutting, I'm going to ink this edge. All right. So this is our 1/4 inch fold, and this is our 2.5 inch fold. So with your 2.5 inch fold towards you, you're going to cut all the way up to this 7 3/4 or 7 1/4 fold. I think that's what it is. Let me double check my notes. Yes, 7 1/4. So we're going to cut a little bit up and add an angle. And then this is how I do my corners. I cut this side first, and then I cut this side next. So that way I get a nice angled piece that they won't lay on top of each other. They'll lay nice and flat. There we go. And then we're going to cut this little corner right here. Now here's where you get to make a design choice. And I am going to do this to all of them, but have this in the back of your head while you're doing your cuts. Are you going to round corners? Are you going to notch circles? You know, what are you going to do with this when you're done? So have that in the back of your mind and think, do I want to do all that with all of these? And that way you can know what you're going to do next. So I'm just cutting along the line to that line and then up. And then I do my angle cut over the corner. And then I do another angle cut up. And then I do my corner here. Just like that. We're going to do the whole stack of these. Okay, so next one is this 8.5 by 11 sheet. So we want to snip this corner, snip this corner, and angle it off. And then we go in at an angle here and cut it this way. So for me, because this has print on it, it's easier to see on the white side of the paper. And I'll do another one. I'll ink up the edges before I cut so you guys know. So for this one, I have the 1/4 inch towards me and the 3/4 inch away. So let's ink up an edge so I can show you, illustrate a little bit better for you. Cut this corner at an angle. Cut the cross. And then here on this, you're going to cut at an angle to the cross, and then, there we go, and then cut on that line all the way down. Okay, one more. We're going to move on to the next part of our assemblage journey. So we're going to fold these all in. And I like to fold them all and then give them a good crisp edge. There we go. And you can fold them all and then glue them all, but I tend to glue them all. I tend to fold them all, then glue them all. But I want to show you what we're going for here. Now, I choose not to ink mine as I'm assembling them. I will round corners though. So after this glue has set a little bit, I will come back, get my corner rounder. We'll get this corner. Oops, that didn't work real well. Let's try that again. There we go. And this corner. Now you can take and not notch them either, because I found that with the wider ones, now if you're doing a shorter, you know, something smaller, it might be a little bit more difficult, but because these are so big, when you're decorating them, you can come in with your circle punch and notch them very easily. And then you can take your ink and ink the edges as well, because they fold out really nicely because they are gusseted. And they ink really nicely. And you can cut all the corners if you want, or none of them. It's up to you. I tend to not ink mine. I tend not to punch mine. I tend to just put them all together and put them in a bin, a storage container of some sort. Even a baggie will work. And that way they're ready for me to assemble. They're already assembled. All I need to do is pull them out and decorate them to go with my journal that I'm working on. So we're going to fold these all. And here's where I kind of flounder in between the two. Because I've always been, okay, I don't want to handle this 8 times. I just want to handle it 3 times. Where can I cut out handling? And so depending on how quickly I need to, like if I only have half an hour or an hour to make these, like I have other things I need to do that day, but I know I need to make the pockets, or I know I need to make something. And so I'll just get them all cut and ready, and then I'll assemble as many as I can before I need to stop working for the day. This is just, corner rounder is just being the bane of my existence. Okay, fine. Now you can see I'm not exactly perfect on my edge there, but you know what? That can get covered with ink. So we've got 2 done. Where did my other one go? Aha, that's right, it fell on the floor as I was cleaning. So let me know in the comments if you are okay with multiple steps, or do you try and do like 1 step at a time and then come back and do the other step. I figured if I can combine these 2 steps, normally I do just fold them all and then glue them all. But I've kind of been rethinking that as I'm putting my stuff in shops and doing markets. I wonder if I can eliminate the time, you know, or not eliminate the time, because it's always going to take time. What's the word I'm looking for? Consolidate things and make things go faster if I do all these processes together. You know, like the gluing. So I'm only handling, see now I would have, if I were to just fold all this and put it aside, I'd have to handle it one more time, pull it out one more time. So, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking things through again, you know? When you get into different phases of your art journey, you have to kind of rethink things, you know? You have to rethink pricing. You have to rethink how you do things, you know? And for me, that's where I came up with the idea of getting archival ink in a similar shade to the Tim Holtz inks, the oxide ones, and that's how I came up with that. Now, these can be folded either way. You can fold it this way if you want, and then just put a piece of washi tape over this, or leave it as it sits. You can even do some kind of decorating stamps or whatever, like over this, and then bring it onto this side, so they are a cohesive unit. I'm gonna get, here's the other thing too. This is a texture paper. You can't see it on the camera, but one side is smooth and one side isn't. So I want to fold this in so the texture side is out, because that's why you pay for textured paper. There we go. And now I'm going to glue it. And we'll go through and get all of these done. And then I'll decorate one for you and show you how easy it really is when you just have the base to work with. Let's get this cleaned up and we will go through what we created today. And I'll finish one up for you. All right, we made 25 of these. So we should be good for a little while. What I do for market is I do kind of finish them a little bit, ink them up and make them look pretty. And then I sell them, you know, like one or three. It's like one is this much, three for this much. That kind of thing. So, and I have a journal that I'm working on right now that has all of these elements in it. That's why making these videos has been really great, because then I can make the elements for the journal that shows all the elements, and I can show you how to make your own. So yeah, anywho, we're gonna grab some coffee. So I'm gonna ink up my edges. Now this is also, I love craft paper because you can come in and and do pretty much anything you want to it. You can throw color at it. You can keep it neutral. So this side we're not going to worry about on this because this is going to get glued down to the page. So let's get this. Now if you want to get this inside piece, because you will see that, you can go ahead and do that. And get this side. Now some people might not like to do everything all at once like this, like have a big bundle of them, because you know, it's like they have a flow, and if this doesn't work with your flow, then you know what, no judgment here, zero judgment. You know, have you tried it? And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Because there are things I'm like, why would you do it that way? Because that makes no sense. We're going to take a stamp and we're going to bring out the petunia, because petunia is amazing. I like this script because it's a little bit smaller but not minuscule. And we're going to ink up our stamp. And drop it down. And we're going to do the same thing with this. And it doesn't matter if it goes on this side, because it's just going to be inside the pocket. So it doesn't matter. Yep. I think it wiggled a little bit, but it's okay. There we go. There's the petunia. And, oh, I wanted to do one more thing. I'm going to get this. There we go. Get this out of the way before I put my elbow in it. Now, let's get our box of tricks. And let's see what we got in here. I have been cutting. Oh, this might look kind of cool right here. Let's see what else we find. Let's do that. Maybe she's... Let's see. Now these are from Seven Plaza. These, that's a little bit long. I don't want to cut it off. It's too pretty to cut off. You know what? We're going to do that. See, this is the hardest part for me, is coming up with what to put in there. Oh, but what did that other one that was a typewriter? Yeah. I'm going to put this one on the front. I'm going to trim this down a little bit. And trim that down a little bit. Although, I kind of like this one here better than her. I mean, she's beautiful, but I kind of like how the neutrals are all together. So let's measure where we need to cut this. Right about there. There we go. Around the corners. Okay. And this one is going to go right here. I think we're good. Let's take this down just a notch. There we go. Yeah. Around these corners at 7. There we go. And then this guy, I'm going to take him down to the black. And I'm going to nip these corners kind of the same angle that they are. And there we go. We need little notches. We're going to put a notch here. A notch here. He needs to come down even further. All right. You know what? Let's find a different one. I don't want to cut him down. He's too cute. You know what? Maybe I'll just put a sticker there because there's already a pocket. Yeah, let's just put a sticker there. All right. Artist prerogative to change their mind. Get some coffee out. Ink all these up. Right, because this is the top side. Okay, I just want to make sure I've got it on the right side. This is a washi sticker. Hang on, I need my pin. My allergies have been so bad that I haven't been able to wear my contacts because my eyes are so dry. and itchy and yucky. So I can't wear my super magnifying glass, my super magnifying glasses, which are so much more handy for these. All right, and we're gonna slap this guy right there. And then this guy goes inside. I'm gonna ink him. Oh, we went a little crazy on the ink right there. That's okay. There he is. Wow, we just really had problems with that corner rounder. I think I just need to get a new one. I don't know. Okay, that's a little better. Handmade, Tish, handmade. Okay, and then we're gonna do just enough to get the white edge. All right, that should be good. Get that out of my way, get that out of my way. When you work in that little tiny space, it's like you don't realize how cluttered it gets so quickly. There we go. All right, and then we'll do this little guy. He wants to go all Kiddly Wallace. There we go. There we go. So again, you put it in your journal. You glue here, and a little bit on the bottom edge. So like right on those ends of those lines. And you've got a pocket here. You open it up. You've got a pocket here. You open this up. You got a pocket here and a pocket here. Very simple, very easy to just have those bases ready. So you wouldn't have to go searching for, through your treasure trove of goodies, because you'd have them all in front of you while you're working on your journal, and you'd be like, oh, that'd look really cool, and then you just make one or two. It's like the hidden paper clips, which I do have a video for. I will link that here. You just make them and have them ready, and then you have all these little things that you can start adding to your journal, which, for me, this is the boring part. This is not the fun part. For me, the fun part is putting all the pretty stuff on there. So getting this is like doing dishes. I love to cook and eating the food afterwards, but the dishes, this is doing the dishes. So get your dishes all done one at a time, at one time, and then you can enjoy, your food longer. So I don't don't know what I'm saying. But if you make one of these, have inspired you or anyone, if you make something like this and you've seen them on other channels and you were inspired by both of us, then take me in it. Let me see. I want to see what you guys create. I want to see what comes out of your beautiful minds, because my goal by the end of this year is to really build a really great community that can go into next year and the next year and the next year and just grow and be there for each other and just know that someone's got your back. And isn't that important in life? It's not about how much money you acquire, how big of a house you live in, what fancy car you drive, but how many true friends do you have? How much love do you give? And finding your peace, right? Because, that's what it's all about, yo.